Hello, in today's prayer vignette, we want to talk about attentiveness in prayer. Prayer is an interesting thing because when we think of prayer, we often think of giving our requests to God, asking God to move in particular ways in our own lives and the lives of people around us to bring healthy and life-giving change. But one really critical part of prayer is that we simply sit and we are attentive to God. We follow the instructions of the Psalms and we simply are still and know that He is God. And as we are present with God, simply attentive to His presence, to what He wants to say, to what He wants to do, to the truth of the wonder of who He is, it transforms us and it changes us. It renews our perspective on the world. I think this is particularly important for us in this season of life. Because in this season of life, we feel so much pressure. There's so many different kinds of things going on around us and within us. I feel so often like my mind is so full of so many different kinds of concerns. I need healthy and good space to just turn my thoughts towards Jesus, to turn my mind towards Him. And again, sometimes this is like we say in the Psalms, again, simply just being still and just knowing the truth of who He is. Sometimes this is about giving space for God to speak to our hearts and our minds, being attentive to His presence and saying, Lord, what is it that you want to say to me today? How do you want to guide and how do you want to direct me? Sometimes this is about just simply honoring Him and glorifying Him, just soaking in the wonder of who God is and the goodness of His presence. Throughout this season, in various spaces, I felt some pressure. And so sometimes I've woken up in the middle of the night with a sense of anxiety or a sense of fear about concerns I have about the church or life or all kinds of different things. And I find in those spaces, it's so important because if I think about all the intensity of what's going on, I feel overwhelmed and a little bit overcome. But if I'll just sit there and just be present with God, sometimes I'll recite to myself Psalm 23, those beautiful verses that the Lord is my shepherd, and so I lack nothing. I have absolutely everything that I need because of who He is. As I continue to move through those verses, that I don't need to be afraid because I know that He's with me, because I know He provides everything that I need, it just begins to shift my focus. It eases my level of fear or concern. It helps me to recognize the truth that I am the son of a loving Father who continues to be with me all of the time. And so today, in a day and an age where we are constantly bombarded with our own needs and our own concerns, with the pressures of life all around us, we desperately need spaces to simply be attentive in prayer. Just be attentive to the presence of God. And say, God, I just want to be still. I want to know the truth of who you are. I want to delight in the wonder of your presence. I want to praise you for the attributes that you portray that I see throughout the scriptures. And I want to just delight in you. So today, would you be still and know that He is God? Would you be attentive to His presence? Would you praise Him for the wonder of who He is? Let's do these things together.